Okay, good morning. Gregory Hayes here from Eshkol Data Protection. The next level of threat from the ransomware actors is probably going to be invasive maneuvers into your networking equipment, all right? Like your firewall, be it Fortinet, Cisco ASA, Firepower, Huawei, or whatever, or into your network switches. And what they're going to try and do is actually get into your network and hold you to ransom in another way. If you've got cloud-based DR, then you're in an extremely serious situation. As an aside, make sure you address that and make sure, please, could I implore you to have a standby network system on your physical premises. It's just insane stupidity to put your disaster recovery systems in the cloud. Please look at my paper, which I'll reference. I'm not going to go into that here, no time. For compliance professionals, this is not super technical, just reasonably technical. For BCM, continuity people, cybersecurity who haven't got hardcore engineering experience in a data center. Doesn't matter. Just understand the big picture. You have to ensure you've got console access to your network switches, to your firewalls, to your routers, to your storage area network, because the next level of threat, they're going to lock you out. And let's not just wait for it, let's prepare, and let's learn how to nuke that threat. So when the day of trouble arrives, you've advised your IT management or your CEO, and you've prepared for it. All right, so let's define it, because I find so many young people, cybersecurity engineers, and completely confused sometimes. Right, this is a console. Look at that 9-pin serial port. Often legacy equipment, say like an earlier version of a HP 2650 switch, will have something like that on. And that's your salvation. Because what that enables you to do is, if your network has completely been locked up by the threat actors and you've lost your network access, you come in with a console cable, all right? And that'll be something like, often be a Cisco or a similar blue cable, all right? And what that will do is that you will connect with the console cable to that receptacle or plug which is on the switch. Then once you've got your settings correct, you've got direct console access. Now I'll interpose some shots of me getting into an ASA firewall and a Cisco 3750 switch. If you've got keen observation and the focus is good, you can see this is a Silkworm 3250. All right, just let me get that gender bender off. And you can see, I don't know if the definition is good enough, but hopefully you can see that 9-pin serial switch, 9-pin serial plug. Now, serial is just like Morse code, and it's just dot dash, dot dash. But although it's slower than an internet or Ethernet enabled connection, the huge redeeming feature is it lets you bypass the network. You're talking serially to the operating system on that switch, firewall, router. Okay, so it's just like, in a way, it's just like, yeah, Morse code. But that enables you to get into that switch and then organize flashing it, or organize resetting the passwords, or some other thing. Just as you can see in the green screen, just to the side or below. I'm sorry, I'm not an expert on video editing, so you might see some errors. But you get the big picture. That's me getting into the 3750. That's me getting into the ASA firewall. And if I get into this legacy Silkworm switch, it's just the same. If you haven't got those facilities, you're in an extremely serious situation if the threat actors get into your network equipment. Practice now. If you're a compliance professional, you might say, well, look, I'm not very good at serial pinouts. That's fine. All you've got to do is understand the big picture and document and audit that your engineers can do that. So if you've got crucial firewalls or routers in your data center, okay, in your server room, make sure your engineers have got the cable and they know the procedures to get in. Basically what you do is, you can see on the green screen there, I'm using Linux, but you can just use PuTTY, which is a facility that lets you telnet, lets you use serial communications or SSH, and you can go directly into that switch, into that firewall. As you can see, I'm doing below here. Right, now if you just look a bit further on, if I don't step my limit with the time frame, you'll see me physically connecting. Now, all you've got to do is understand the big picture, because believe me, that's the next level of ransomware type threats that's coming to your organization soon. Please, let's not sit on our backsides, just wait for it to happen and be reactive. Plan your recovery architecture now. Now, you might find difficulties. You've got some funny style plug on your storage area network. How do you get into it? That's great. Well, there are ways around that. You can, what you can do is you can get a little connector, and you can put in once you've got the pinout diagram, generally you only need three lines, 3 of these, okay? And then you can experiment with cables. If you can't do that, that's fine. Just get, just secure your local electronics expert. He might be the chap at the computer shop, or some other lad or ladette who's very good with a bit of soldering. But the important thing is, if you've got an ambiguous plug or an issue, you sort it now. There's nothing worse than trying to get console access to a mission critical piece of network equipment, and you've got the governor of the central bank over your left shoulder watching you, and you're 30% sure of what you're doing. And believe me, I've been there, and it's happened. Much better to take this window of time that you've got now, and if you need a week or two to get through the console access issue and you're not sure of the plug, you're not sure of the cable, you need to talk to vendor engineers, HP, Cisco, you need to call in an outside assistance, but please do it now. And then what will happen is that when you get the ransomware note saying, we have locked up your network, you pay us $100,000 to $500,000, you can just stiff them, right? And then come in to your recovery plan, reflash all your network, reset your passwords, get a basic network online, hook it up to your disaster recovery server, and you can be back in less than 24 hours, right? 36 hours. But if you have not practiced or audited, then you are at their mercy. Okay, so look at the ongoing video clip and let's get into it. Thank you. Okay, so take your console cable, this blue, sometimes called a Cisco cable or roller cable. Place it in the console port. Do you see that? On the Cisco ASA firewall in this case. All right. Now that will come out to a plug, so on the back of this server here. So this server is going to have direct console contact with this ASA firewall, which will be very important if the bad guys have managed to get in to the firewall and disabled your network configuration, which could be the next type of threat that we will encounter with these advanced persistent threat actors. All right, we haven't had one to my knowledge, not a large scale one, but it's the logical next step. So let's get our console procedures in place. All right, now from there, I'll do some proper screen recording in a moment, but that screen is just the client connected to this server. So basically that green screen is connecting now from this server into that firewall console. So it's a console serial connection, okay? It's not a internet connection, so it bypasses any network configuration lockout if the threat actors have got into your firewall, for example, and locked you out completely, okay? Right, now, what I'll be doing in a minute is interposing some screenshots, okay? But if I just do a quick and dirty one, you can see there's the Cisco ASA firewall there. If I do a show int, right, it's now bringing up the main Ethernet connections on the firewall. All right. Okay, so what have we learned today? First of all, apologies for the quality of the video. I'm video editing, not my strong point. Okay, so number one, prepare for the next level of the threat actors. They're going to do invasive attacks on your network equipment, and they're going to try and be resident there, and they're going to lock you out of your own network. Prepare for it. Have your auxiliary network on your premises. Work out all your cable console issues now. Call in all the expertise you need. Get your flash files ready for Cisco, Huawei, your SAN. You can get them from your vendor or from other third parties. And be prepared. Okay, thank you for your company today. From the Laos People's Democratic Republic. Bye-bye.